And here we are now. It's going to be the grand final. It's the British Rental Kart Championship 2020, the 10th edition of this championship. It has evolved over the years. It was a multi-round event, and now it's a single event in line with the big European championships.
Sorry.
We've got the traditional pictures on the start line before the off in the final. All the drivers are making their way out. I'm looking now. I can see, obviously on screen, we're looking from at the back of the drivers involved. There's Regis Gosselin in the white suit. There's Michael Schottler in the German in the black suit. There you can see it says Team Germany in the background.
I just saved the day, James.
Yeah.
Gruten was going to miss the photo. I've saved the photo. I take full credit.
Well, that's the hero that you are, Spanners.
Yeah, I know.
And here comes the group photo, and they're taking it now. Lots of people down there taking pictures. Matthias Gruten almost missed the photo, it appears. Spanners has saved that situation.
You are
and the former
welcome.
double world champion, Matthias Gruten's in there. So looking at this from the side there, Patrick Neroda is on the left. Next to him is David Kart, and then it's Wojciech Zerb and Michael Zerb. They're the two Zerb brothers from Poland, side by side. Sean Brierley is there. He's one of Britain's main hopes, and he's in the final. And there is Regis Gosselin, the tall driver in the white suit, and the world champion, Michael Schottler, the German. The world champion is in black. And there's Selina Balnager. What a championship she's had so far, the Dutch lady there. And then Mats de Jong, he's a veteran driver now in indoor karting and rental karting generally. And Matthias Gruten, former double world champion on the end, world champion 2008 and 2015. And that is the lineup for the final, not necessarily in that order. So these are the drivers who are going to contest that. They've had the group photo. The karts have been brought out into the line. Of course, the karts are going to be quite cold, but they are equal on coldness. Now, what's going to be interesting, Spanners?
Yo.
Well, do you remember? We had Dennis Huller, and Dennis Huller made a change of kart, and he got in a cold kart, and then obviously he didn't have the qualifying to warm it up, which they're not going to have now. He suffered when he made an early pit stop with the thing nearly stalling on account of being cold.
Well, of course, all the karts are cold now.
Yeah, and we've got 2 pit stops to be made in this final. We do see a variety of strategies on that. Sometimes people pit early, sometimes people pit late. I wonder if anyone's been looking at the Holler situation, which cost him so dear, and arguably could well have been what kept him out of the final, because Dennis Holler, remember, is second in the World Championship, and he scored a lot of points this weekend, but finished in the tail of that semi with that problem there. Coming in the pits with a cold kart, it would appear.
Well, the really good thing about the double pit stop is it makes it fantastically easy to follow and figure out who's actually leading. So that's good.
Yes, and if we make a bad call, there's plenty of time for that bad call to be undone with a subsequent pit stop, isn't it? So we end up looking good, Spanners.
Nice.
Okay, so the kart's been prepared. It looks like everyone's just doing the weight checks. There's some sort of chat going on. They're probably in the weight check area. So just going through that lineup again while the drivers are just, it looks like they're in the weighing area, just making sure they're up to weight. Michael Zerb is going to be starting in first place for this final of the British Rental Kart Championship. Mats de Jong is going to be second. Regis Gosselin is third. From Matthias Gruten and Michael Schottler, the world champion, down in fifth. Selina Balnager is sixth. Seventh is Sean Brierley. Wojciech Zerb is eighth. Patrick Neroda ninth. And David Kart 10th. Spanners, we're in for an epic, aren't we?
I think so, James, because look at that midfield. They're not people who are going to lie down and accept defeat, are they? You've got Schottler there, who's got to be moving forward, and I think this is not going to be a static field, but also they know they've got time as well. So what we might see is a more patient approach as well.
Yeah, that's correct, Spanners. One thing I do want to point out, though, is, of course, that the hero of the late lunge and one of the most combative drivers we've seen all weekend is actually starting last in the form of David Kart. That could be something for the opening laps, couldn't it?
Oh, let's hope so. Let's hope so.
If anyone's going to attempt the impossible from however far back he chooses, it's going to be David Kart. You've got him labelled with this tag now.
What I might do is I might go up to him now and say, commentator James Auld has said he doesn't think you've got the courage to make a late lunge on the first lap, and see what he says.
Well, yes, luckily I have a fair distance and a plate glass window in between me and him, so the outcome might not be that bad, but it might be actually best to ask him how far back he can make the lunge.
Trying to eavesdrop on the final briefings that the marshals are giving the drivers, James, but I couldn't quite make it out.
Okay, so looking down there, we can see the drivers now moving towards the karts. There's Sean Briley. He's going to be starting a bit further down the order in 7th. They're making the kart picks. Spanners, have we got any heads up on people's responses to the kart they've picked?
No, not quite, not yet. And you know what they're like. They're always going to say, oh, it's not quite the kart I wanted.
Yeah.
The wind's blowing in the wrong direction for me today, and my pet dog is sick. But interestingly, Sean Briley has requested that his screen is removed completely from his steering wheel. He said it just distracts him. He doesn't need it.
Well, that's a very interesting development, folks. Obviously, those of you watching on screen and in the live stream, yesterday we had a good look at one of those screens. They're new for this year. The screens are mounted on the centre of the steering wheel, and they're giving the driver live information as they go along, position, lap times, and a couple of relevant things that are going on. However, Sean Briley, some drivers seem to look at them, and sometimes some are paying no attention at all. The interesting development here is Sean Briley has requested that his is actually removed completely, clearly finding it too much of a distraction.
Or turned off. So I think they can't have it removed, but he wants it turned off.
He wants it turned off,
yeah.
Right. So the organiser's saying, listen, pal, it's staying on. And of course, anybody turning up here for even a ride and drive at Formula Fast is going to be using those screens, aren't they? And there's Sean Briley racing in the final of the British Rental Kart Championship 2020, asking for his to be turned off.
I love all that info being available. It does make you feel like, oh yeah, this is what it's like on the telly for the drivers.
Yeah, except Sean Briley, he's just not interested, isn't he? I think the way Sean Briley is, if they'd refused to switch it off, he probably would have got some duct tape and taped it over. Yes, that's Sean Briley down there. He's going to be starting 7th, and he's opting to go without the benefit, or requesting to go without the benefit of the in-kart timer and sort of information station, I suppose you would call it.
It's quite funny him talking about having the weight of the nation on his shoulders, because quite a small British contingent in the final. In fact, it is just Sean Briley. So I did tell him that all the pressure was on him, and if he didn't win, the country was ruined.
Yes, Sean Briley, it's the British Championship, and there we are. We are looking at the only British hope now. That's Sean Briley on screen in the yellow. He's going to be starting 7th. That's David Kart behind him, and so they will get positioned accordingly. You know, they're not in the position they're going to be starting in the pit lane there. So Sean Briley in the number 9. That's his kart for this race. And he is the British hope. Lewis Manley, despite winning the semi-final, just was short on points, but he's gone out in style with a win. There's Sean Briley. There's a big chat going on.
Yeah, I think 15th in the end for Manley.
Yeah, up there. And there's Sean Briley. Well, on screen there you can see he's clearly feeling buoyed by the situation, but the weight of the nation is on him. So there's Sean Briley down there. Matthias Grooten is already looking like he's turning around talking to him. He's saying, "Oh, there's already that hand signal which suggests, you know, let's not push things." Is been done. Matthias Grooten, he's kind of the king of the deal making. Isn't
Honestly, Grooten, he's become one of my favourites over the course of this weekend. He's so smart. He's thinking about the strategy all the time. He's looking at details, and he just seems like a really fun bloke as well. So yeah, one of my highlights of the weekend.
Well, Matthias Grooten, it has to be said, he's been on the top of the rental kart scene for so long. He's a double world champion. He has the respect of the other competitors that he can actually make these deals and people will go along with it. And the laughable thing was, we saw earlier on Michael Schottler made a deal with Ramon Pinheiro behind him and made a deal with Ruben in front of him, which was interesting. Anyway, they're heading on now. This is the warm-up sort of half lap. They're not in actual grid order as they come around here. It is, I don't believe they are. No, it doesn't look like they are, no. So we'll see how they this works out.
James, I've got all the driver numbers, but in the karts I couldn't tell between the gerbs, so you're going to have to help me.
That's okay, don't you worry. I've got the panoramic view from up here as well as the fantastic live stream view provided by Scruffy Bear Pictures, and we're going to be watching that as it happens. So there they are, they're forming up, they're going to be put in the appropriate positions. Now there is Regis Laconi, he's a motorcycle race. Regis Goslan, also a motorcycle race but on dirt, he's already talking with Mats de Jong. These two have known each other for years, both Belgian, and been on top of the rental karting scene, so you can see the kind of thing that's going on. This is how cagey this is. This is not about just going out and trying to muller everybody. There's a lot of talk going on about what people are going to do. And look at Matthias Groten. He's already talking about Goslan in front of him, to the driver behind him, what he's planning to do. Who's he talking to? World champion Michael Schuttler. So Michael Schuttler talking to, the discussion's still going on. Matthias Groten is already trying to set up the race, it would appear. He's behind Regis Goslan, and obviously you can bet your life that although he's making a deal, ultimately it will be the deal that, plays into his hand more than anyone else. Spanners, this is getting cagier by the minute, as always.
It's the first time I actually saw any sign of despondency from Schottner. I think he definitely was disappointed with the qualifying position. So I'll be interested to see, what he does from here. I'd imagine he's going to be quite tactically on it, and I wouldn't be surprised with an early-ish stop.
Absolutely. Well, let's see how that plays out. There are 2 stops to be made. They're coming around. It's the start of the final of the British Rental Kart Championship 2020. And the British Rental Kart 2020 final is underway as Patrick Naroda... Sorry, no, it's Michael Scherb, of course. Michael Scherb is leading the way. He's followed by Mats de Jong, followed by Regis Goslan, with Matthias Groten behind him. It's very clean so far. No one's pushing each other. It's very clean indeed as they're heading round the big sweeper on the back part of the circuit there. The long back stretch down into that hairpin. Are we going to see any action here? Remember, David Carter's at the tail, but he's got a bit of a gap in front of him. So Michael Scherb leads the way still. They're coming around the final corners. There's David Carter at the end, and there across the line, completing the opening lap of the final of the British Rental Kart Championship, the 10th edition. There is Michael Scherb from Mats de Jong and Regis Goslan. They're keeping positions, but Michael Scherb is looking good up front. And there are 2 pit stops in this race, so this is the grand final. There are 2 pit stops, so maybe we'll see some early pit visitors. Spanners, it's been very clean, hasn't it?
It has been very clean. David Cart only hit the exit of the final turn there, and the only gap seems to have formed behind Balnega.
Yes, that's right, and well, look at this. Michael Scherb, he's opening up about a car into the pits. Spanners.
Yeah, into the pits then. Number 9, barely so. Without his timing app, without the use of technology, Sean's decided to go for it, get himself out of the pack and see what he can do. Remember, there's 2 pit stops for each driver in this final.
Yes, he's thrown the in-kart screen out the window. He's come in really early. He couldn't stop earlier than that. Remember the risk that was being taken with the cold karts. Remember Dennis Huller earlier, Sean Briley, there's with no problems in that pit stop. Will there be any more coming in this early? It's not from the leaders, that's for sure.
I'm worried for the rest of the field now that Michael Scherb has got away, because frankly he's been on devastating form all weekend as Naroda decided to come in and pit. He's in a good situation as well to pit because, qualifying 9th. Oh, look at this, Sean Briley, he's taken his 2nd pit stop. That is him done. This is a real roll of the dice. We were wondering if someone would do this, and now he's got the whole race ahead of him just to get the laps in. Of course, if someone ends up in front of him, that's it, he's got to do it on track.
And this is incredible. Nobody expected this. Sean Briley is taking both pit stops on consecutive laps this early in the race. That leaves no strategy open for Briley. Well, maybe that's all part of his plan, because he's declined the in-kart information screen. He's done 2 stops straight away. It's Sean Briley, foot to the floor here on in. Any moves he makes are going to be 4 position on the track. Sean Briley all the way. He's going to have his head down and going for it. Sean Briley, Britain's hope. He's in last place at the moment. He's almost a lap down because he's taken 2 stops.
Yeah,
and Michael Scherb coming around, and Mats de Jong and Regis Goslan. Now Sean Briley is going to have his work cut out really if he gets caught. The crucial thing is Sean Briley avoids getting caught. What he could do with is some of these leaders pitting, particularly Scherb maybe. Sean Briley, he cannot afford any blue flags because he's going to have to give way because he will be a lap down. So a bit of a gutsy one there.
Yeah.
But he's obviously feeling confident, Spanners.
It's a gamble, isn't it? I wasn't thinking about him getting caught by the leaders, but he's got to get on the page straight away. Well, that was happening though. Balnega dropped down to 9th place net overall, obviously 7th on track.
Yeah, Selena Balnega, it's been a bit more difficult for her in the semi-final and the final, but, well, it's a long way to go. There's still 26 minutes to go.
But the thing is, she's behind Gerb, Wojciech Gerb, so this could be a good time to actually pit out and put herself in clean air.
Yeah, what we're going to have to see is whether Wojciech... Oh, there's a move, and there's a collision as well. And it looked like the world champion was involved in that. That's Michael Schuttler. There's a bit of a push and shove going further down the order there, but we're looking at the leader, Michael Scherb. He's got a little bit of a gap there to Mats de Jong. Regis Gosselin is running in third, and there's the world champion. So there's the champion, Michael Schuttler, and he's got Wojciech Scherb, Selena Balnega, David Kart there. Well, David Kart's a bit out of that. So there's the world champion, Michael Schuttler. He's fourth. You've got Matthias. Is Matthias Grün there? Yes. He's behind Scherb. Well, there's a bit of a change of position there. There's Scherb and then there's Selena Balnega. This is quite tight here. I'm wondering if there'll be a pit stopper soon, Spanners.
Well, Gruten started in fourth, so he'll be unhappy there. That happened just out of my view, though, I think.
Yeah, Gruten has found a few of his deals broken, I think. And there is Matthias Gruten, double world champion, 2008-2015. And into the pits is Scherb.
Yeah, we have Wojciech Gerb in, so that does solve a problem for Balnega a little bit. I'm not quite sure what his motivation was, other than perhaps just to get one out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's a penalty been awarded to Michael Schuttler, and it's a bad pass penalty. So he's going to have to give the position back. Now, this could be really serious, because if it was to Gerb, how to give a position back to Gerb? So we're looking at the second place there. That is Mats de Jong, and that is Regis Gosselin. Now, Regis Gosselin, he's been racy all weekend. You can see that European style where he's leaning out the kart. It's exacerbated by the fact he's very tall. Regis Gosselin's the one in the white suit, and you can really see him moving the kart there. There he is, really leaning out style. Gives him great ability to rotate the kart, takes the pressure off the inside rear wheel. Spanners, I'm actually a bit surprised we haven't seen any more pit visitors.
Well, I'm just looking at Gruten, because I think Gruten thinks that he should be given the plates back as well from Michael Schottner.
Yeah, Schottler is actually running on his own, I think, isn't he, at the moment? No, he's not. He's been caught by Gruten. He's there with Gruten. Certainly there's showing a bad pass, but I don't think anything's been done, maybe in terms of Schottler giving anything back. We'll see what it's all about later on. I'm sure it'll become apparent, Spanners.
Well, the good news for Briley is that he is sort of avoiding being lapped at the moment, but that gap is closing to Gerb behind.
Yeah, it's very serious for Briley at the moment, because if he does get caught, he will get blue flagged. He'll have to get out of the way, and he'll get freight trained. Now, Briley's doing 31.5 on the timer. Gerb, that last lap, he's the fastest in the race, 31.2, so 0.3 of a second. Gerb, we're looking at, is closing in on Briley. The only fly in Briley's ointment is it required him to be that fast. Remember, we lose about 10 seconds on a pit stop, so Briley gives away 20 seconds, which is not far off being a lap. You know, only 10 seconds away from being a full lap down this early in the race. And if Gerb was to stay out till the end, at this rate, Gerb would catch him, and that would be a problem in Briley's strategy. Apart from that, all Briley needs to do is get his foot down. It's a big risk with possibly big gains, possibly big losses.
At least he can see them, though. If he'd only taken the one stop and then he wouldn't have known what the gap was, at least he can see them behind, if that's any consolation, and he knows what he's got to do to stay out of blue flag range.
Yes, it's a bit of a nasty view, though, isn't it? Looking behind and seeing the black visor of Michael Gerb closing in on you. Meantime, though, we're looking now at Mats de Jong. Mats de Jong being chased down by Regis Gosselin. Regis Gosselin is in third place. At the moment, he's content to follow his Belgian compatriot in front. Of course, there are 2 pit stops available in this race. Regis Gosselin isn't opting to take either of them yet, so he's clearly content with the pace of Mats de Jong. Now, this is what will tell us everything. Will Mats de Jong get defensive down the backstretch? That really says what's going on there, and no, he doesn't. He's taking a normal line here. That really suggests there's no pressure from Gosselin. Gosselin's content to follow. It's a little bit early for any dramas there, and Gosselin is content to follow Mats de Jong as they cross the line for another lap. The leaders here, when you look at Michael Scherb, he's looking very convincing, Spanners, but de Jong and Gosselin don't seem too perturbed about this at the moment.
Well, it's whether they can do anything about it as well, and how are they communicating. We have someone in the pits as well, so that is Naroda, and that is his first stop, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I'm losing track already. Thankfully, it is on the graphics, so that's fine. But he's being urged on out of the pits, and I think that shouting from his from his team benefited him about 0.2, so that's good.
Now let me just tell you something interesting here, Spanners. We've got a new fastest lap in this race, and guess who's fastest? It's the German, it's Michael Schottler, the reigning world champion, is quicker in this race. He is 4th place.
There we go, and I was wrong, by the way, that was Naroda's second stop, so Naroda and Briley finished their stops.
Well, we've got the second stop showing on the time, and we'll see exactly what's going on, but certainly Naroda is back there. Question is how far ahead of Briley is he? He's 2 seconds ahead of Briley. So Briley, well, I wonder how well this is working out, but at least Briley will be able to see him, surely. Let's have a look out there on the track.
It's like half a straight.
Yeah, they're coming onto that backstretch now, so maybe Sean Briley will get his first proper view of Patrick Naroda. It is down at the tail of the field. Here comes Mats de Jong, and he's entering that backstretch now. He's got a little bit of a bigger gap over Regis Ghostland. There's Michael Gerb, the leader, on the screen.
Oh, it's close to Briley now, isn't it?
It is. This is looking very dangerous now. Patrick Naroda, of course, is in the same boat as Sean Briley, making the early stop, but Sean Briley is the man who's first in line for Michael Gerb. Now the danger here is that if Michael Gerb gets close enough, Sean Briley will get the blue flag. He will have to move out the way. That's going to be a disaster for the Brit who gambled on an early stopping strategy. This is Conor Marsh ×2, really, isn't it?
He had nothing to lose, though, didn't he, Sean? I approve of that tactic. It could well have worked out. But
well, if Gerb comes in, it still might.
Yeah, the pace of Gerb, though, is frightening. And you're right, he does now need a bit of help with the pit stop. But what reason does Michael Gerb have to pit?
Now, I want to ask you something before he gets too close, Spanners.
Do it.
I wonder if Michael Gerb realises that Briley's been in twice. You see, he may assume that nobody's going to come in this early twice, and in which case he might even think, all right, do I even want to cost any speed Sean Briley? For all he knows, there might have been an incident.
Do you know what? There's a more positive spin here, which is there's a big gap from Gerb back to de Jong, so Briley could possibly just lose minimal time and try and follow in the coattails and actually benefit from it.
Yeah, it may well be that by following Gerb, if he waves him through and doesn't lose any time, follow Gerb, that might actually keep him clear of de Jong and Ghostland for as long as it takes for one of them to come in the pits. It's really about blue flag minimisation, isn't it? The way the strategy is playing out for Briley and Naroda ahead. Surely the blue's going to be coming out soon, because it looks like, Gerb is all over the back of Briley now.
Well, what's Briley's target here? It's Naroda, isn't it?
It is, yes. If he has to wave Michael Gerb through, it needs to be with a minimum time loss. That's going to be the key thing. Briley needs to, yes, he's waving him through. In fact, I think he's done it without the help of a blue flag. So Briley has lost almost no time at all. Michael Gerb has gone through round the fast sweep onto the backstretch. Now, can Sean Briley use Michael Gerb as a bit of a toe to pull himself up to Patrick Naroda? As you say, as a positive spin there, it may well benefit Briley in chasing down Patrick Naroda. Spanners, we will see what happens.
Can I point something out there? Because Schottner was coming right onto the back of Grosjean, and he's decided not to fight him and come in for his pit stop. The risk is now, will David Kart interfere with his plans? And it looks like no.
Well, he might, because David Kart's got momentum. He's closing in on Ghostland. He's looking the inside, but it doesn't come off. Regis Ghostland hangs on desperately. There's so much momentum for a driver on this Snell section who doesn't pit, who's tacking someone who has just pitted, and that's exactly what happens, Spanners.
James, look at Schottner. The pace is incredible. He really is reeling in de Jong now as well.
Yeah, Michael Schottler's moved up to 3rd place. This is looking good for the world champion. And Schottler, the German there, is in 3rd place. Mats de Jong is in front of him. He's up into 3rd place because, of course, Regis Ghostland pitted out of that. Managed to stay ahead of David Kart. They're running 6th and 7th. Spanners.
I don't see any way. I don't see any way that Gosselin can keep Schottner behind unless Schottner's really held up by de Jong.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the truth there, Spanners. There's going to be absolutely no change in that one. So we're looking at Michael Gerb, we're looking at Sean Briley, and round they go. Michael Gerb is not leaving Sean Briley behind. He's managed to stay with him. Let's have a look at the times. Schottler is still the fastest. The purple time there on the screen means Schottler is still fastest in this race. We're looking at the leader though, Michael Gerb. He's actually pulling away from Sean Briley now.
Overtake from Schottner.
Yes. That's absolutely right. Where is it? Yes, it is. It's on Mats de Jong. We're going to see the change in the D and the characters there. Yes, they are. Michael Schottler's gone up to 2nd place behind Michael Gerb. Schottler really is on a mission. I think a few people might have written him off after that 5th place start, but Schottler's really on it.
Yeah, he's looking. He's had frightening pace all weekend, to be fair. But if he's looking on similar pace to Michael Gerb, I don't know, what's the lap times looking like? Is there any hope that
similar
he can
pace to Michael Gerb? The situation this Spanners, Schottler is the only one who's gone under 31 seconds. However, that last lap was a little bit, it was a little bit slower. 31.2 versus 31.0. 30.9. Schottler's quicker than the leader. So Schottler is really on it now. He's actually, albeit in a tiny amount, closing in on Gerb.
All fighting over who will be the new champion of BRKC.
Absolutely, it's been 6 times Ruben Boutin. 2014 Ruben Boutin, 2015 Ruben Boutin, 2016 Ruben Boutin, 2017 Ruben Boutin, 18 and 19 Ruben Boutins, and now whatever happens, because he's no longer in the event, this final is going to yield a new British champion, and by and large it's going to be people who weren't even in it the first time Ruben Boutins won, which is saying something.
The competition's been incredible this year, and some people have really stamped their mark on it throughout the competition, and it's amazing to see them all here in this final. Like, Gerb has been amazing, Patrick Niroda has been fantastic, yet he finds himself near the back of this final. It's been incredible.
Yeah, Michael Gerb, one of the 2 Polish Gerb racing brothers, he's been impressive. In fact, both of them are in the final. That's says something, doesn't it? But certainly he's been impressive ever since he first appeared here in the UK a couple of years ago. He's always been a star, and he's always made the final as well. So Michael Gerb, we've expected this kind of performance. Maybe it's him. Oh, David Kart is in.
Yeah, David Kart is in the pits, and there's a slight threat from behind from Niroda. I would have expected Niroda to get in front, but I think he's got the momentum to go around the outside.
He has. Spanners, let me take over. Niroda's gone around the outside in the snail. Niroda sweeps around the outside, cuts across, and picks up the position from David Kart. And David Kart's under threat because he's about to go a lap down to Michael Gerb, so he won't really be able to come back at Niroda. Well, a bit of a double loss potentially for David Kart. Wojciech Gerb's had a warning, and it's a warning for contact with the number 8. Who is the number 8? Selina Balnega.
David Kart's getting both his pit stops out of the way quickly, and he's going to come out, I think, in the middle here. No, he's not. He's going to come out behind Balnega. Balnega's definitely got the momentum to go past, although that gap is closed. But David Kart has done 2 stops now. Balnega has done 0 stops, has yet to come in. So I think that actually David Kart is a lap down. It's really hard to track, but I think, yes, David Kart is a lap down, even though they're close on track position. Balnega still has to make 2 stops there.
Absolutely, Spanners. And talking of Selina Balnega, she was involved, actually, we just heard from Race Control, in Wojciech Gerb's penalty. It was earlier in the race. Remember, there was a lot of bit of pushing and shoving, and it was deemed that Wojciech Gerb had been a little bit more on the robust side. They've let a lot of things go this weekend, and the standard is huge, isn't it? I mean, how much work have the marshals done? You haven't seen them pick a cart out of the barrier, have you?
No.
So it was deemed just a little bit too robust on Selina Balnega, and it's just a little warning, so nothing really lost. And there is Selina Balnega, 5 times ladies world champion. She'd be looking to make it 6 in Portugal this summer. Meantime, her focus is the British Championship. She's running it in 5th place behind double world champion Matthias Grooten.
Yeah, that gap between Grooten and Balnega has stayed fairly consistent actually so far over these 30 laps.
Yeah, and we're looking again at Selina Balnega on the live stream there and the TV coverage. She's running in 5th place. Lap time wise, she's setting the kind of lap time that justify that position. Obviously, with the 2-stop strategy, there is scope for people being all over the place at the end of this race, isn't there, Spanners?
Yeah, they look to have settled down into some positions, but there's still a lot to look out for. It is really interesting seeing Schottler's pace and trying to find a gap. It's not that much. Like, we have seen gaps of 3.3 seconds and bigger been closed down in a final, and it's a long final, and there's pit stops to negotiate, so this is far from over.
Oh, absolutely. We're still following Selina Balnega. She's trying to chase down the double world champion. She's got to make up 2 seconds to catch up with Matthias Grooten. She can probably see him pretty well. Yep. David Kart is behind her, and I think the gap to Kart is a similar sort of distance.
He's a lap down.
Yes, he's a lap down. But Selina Balnega obviously won't be worrying about him. She's pretty much focused on her race, but Matthias Grooten will be the immediate target ahead. Meantime, 33 laps in for Michael Gerb. We've got 12 minutes remaining of this race. And Gerb leads from the world champion Michael Schottler. Mats de Jong, such a performance from him in third place. Matthias Grooten fourth. Selina Balnega, who's on screen now, in fifth. And then, of course, Regis Goslar. Now, if we look at the pit stops, the pit stops, Goslar has still made just one stop. We'll see what happens when he makes the second one. Gerb, of course, and Schottler, de Jong, they've made no stops. In fact, half the field haven't made a single stop. And that would be the top five: Gerb, Schottler, de Jong, Grooten and Balnega.
I was just noting that even with the extra length of the final, they could find a situation where it's double busy because they've saved 2 pit stops to have to get out of the way, and it could get to the situation where avoiding another car in the pit lane is going to be difficult.
Yeah, I mean, we've got, 5 people who haven't made a single stop. We've got another stop expected from Goslar and Vocek. That leaves 12 actual stops to be made. 12.
We've both got it at the same time. Our maths is improving. There's hope.
Yes, I mean, at least we've ended up at the same number, even if it's wrong, Spanners. But we've got 11 minutes with which to see 12 separate pit stops. So it could get pretty busy. In fact, it's hard to imagine now with 11 minutes to go, because on average that's less than 1 stop a minute. Surely somebody's going to trip over somebody else. And the only person, or the only 2 people who would benefit from that would be, of course, the early stoppers, Niroda and Briley.
The gap to Schottner's closing, or am I imagining it? It's down to 3.1 now.
Yeah, it's 3.1 seconds. Have a little look out the window here. Yes, you can actually see it. Sean Briley is closing in on, it looks like Patrick Niroda. Niroda is running fast though, so it's a very, very slow closing in.
Yeah.
But Schottler all the time is bringing that down. Schottler's still the fastest person overall on best laps, and every lap he does is quicker than Michael Gerb. So we're seeing the German world champion there in second place actually closing down the race leader Michael Gerb. Schottler is still in with a chance. I think a few people have mentally written him off in 5th place, but clearly Schottler is a man to be reckoned with. We've not seen him here in Britain before, but what we're seeing is stuff that we won't forget.
Will Niroda jump out of the way for Gerb? Because if he gets in the way at all, Schottler's going to be on him.
Well, I suppose that depends whether he's come in the same car from Poland, doesn't it? Yes. Because Gerb needs to get past his compatriot Niroda, because they do have the German Schottler closing in on Gerb. So I wonder if something will be called from the pits.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing Niroda actually being given a hurry up, being told to just stay ahead for now. Right,
but Niroda's going to have to get his foot down. If he's going to stay ahead, he's right in front of, and he's moving out the way. He's moving out the way. Nice. He's allowing Gerb through. So Michael Gerb has now passed Patrick Niroda, his compatriot.
Hang on, here's the interesting one. What happens when it's Schottner?
Well, isn't that the $40,000 one? Yeah. So Schottler is going to be the next one. Schottler is going to be the next one to put the pass on Patrick Niroda, and well, I'm sure the Polish contingent will have an opinion on this. We're looking now at Michael Gerb. He's running ahead of Patrick Niroda, who is a lap down. He has waved his compatriot Michael Gerb through. I'm sure the rest of the Poles, and remember there's a strong Polish contingent who has stayed here for this final with 4 of their entries still in contention, and they're going to be keen that, well, they don't want to see Patrick Niroda be too helpful.
Vocek Gerb is in the pit lane. I'm watching him now, a bit of a double stab at the brakes, but it looks pretty clean. But the question is, no, it's not going to be enough.
Schottler comes out just him. Oh, and look at that. Yeah. The second Gerb, Vocek Gerb, seemed a bit disappointed to come out behind Schottler. No. Is Schottler going to get ganged up on? That's going to be the interesting thing. He's surrounded by Polish entries here. He's got 2 Poles in front. He's got 1 Pole behind, and he's got an entire raft of Poles on the balcony there yelling him on. So Schottler there has got to be feeling a bit of a national pressure there. Yeah, neighbours to the east, and we'll see how friendly they're going to be. In the meantime, we're looking at Mats de Jong through that crane camera there. Mats de Jong is still being followed by Matthias Grooten. They've spent so long together in this race. Mats de Jong, incredible performance. He's a veteran driver, so is Matthias Grooten, and this is why they're running so well. They know exactly what to do. Very much of the old guard. Another wave from Grooten. Grooten, a master tactician in this kind of motorsport.
Well, isn't it funny how Niroda is now being sucked along by Gerb and being able to keep pace?
Yeah, he's got the pace to do it, and now he's got the intention. Maybe he's the shotgun. Maybe he's riding shotgun for Michael Gerb. They're going to be worried about Michael Schottler. He is the world champion. He is the fastest on the track. They're going to be worried about Schottler. And maybe Michael Gerb has got a new best friend in Patrick Niroda. Maybe Patrick Niroda is going to be a bit of a genuine shotgun rider here. He's certainly defending the tail of Michael Gerb, his compatriot, who is a lap ahead.
Well, 2.4 seconds. I suggest that Naroda load both barrels if that's his intention.
Yeah, well, because, you know, Michael Schottler, he's not going to be hanging about, is he? When he does catch Naroda, he's going to expect Naroda to move out of the way. Those blue flags are going to have to be adhered to. But the thing is that Naroda didn't even need any blue flags to move out of Gerb's way, and all it's going to take is a little bit of a delay.
Maybe he doesn't see the first one. You know, maybe he understeers a little.
Yeah, and what are they going to do? Bust him? It's the final, you know. 6 minutes to go, and we're still waiting for loads of pit stop spanners. That pit lane's going to get mighty busy. Since we said 11 minutes to go that there were 12 pit stops, only one pit stop has been made. We're still waiting on 11 pit stops to be made with 6.5 minutes to go. This could get crazy.
Yay, I'm looking forward to that, genuinely. I'm gleeful.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty nasty here, Spanners. I'm wondering if everyone's been too busy trying to outfox each other, that even at this level there's been a few tactical errors. I'm surprised that Matthias Groten, he is the master tactician. He must realise what's going on. He will know by probably looking at screens around the track who has not pitted and the fact that so many haven't. I wonder if Groten's going to be the first one in. He's certainly the one most experienced with winning races at this level and World Championships.
That's the battle with the closest delta, isn't it, between the two drivers on current pace. So it's going to have to be something tactical. Groten does seem to be aware, but we're leaving it late. We're leaving it late in the day to get 2 pit stops in. So what's he thinking?
Well, he is the master tactician, and if he's leaving it late, it obviously isn't that bad an idea. You and I are getting nervous because this is exactly the sort of situation where we'd muck it up, isn't it, Spanners? But Groten obviously has things in hand. He's been doing this an awful long time now.
I mean, I'm offended, but it's also true. And the thing is, it just makes those pit stops so high pressure, and it's heartbreaking to see hard work undone in the pits, but it is part of the competition.
And again, we're now down to nearly 5 minutes to go, and still nobody's come in. It's just unthinkable, Spanners. You know, you're going to be really busy in the next few minutes.
Oh yeah, and everyone needs to stand by for me getting all the kart names wrong and all the sequence. And here we go. Here's the first of it. It's Groten, as you say, the master tactician, making his first stop. He's got to be aware of David Kart, who is probably going to end up in front of him. But is Groten thinking of a double stop now, get them both out of the way, in which case Kart will not be an issue?
No, Kart has actually leapfrogged him. Kart is, of course, a lap down. But yes, Groten was the first in. As we said, the master tactician, he's decided to go for that. Now, he only needs to make one stop. What about Michael Gerb? Oh, another one in.
Schottner's in. He's decided that he's stopping that chase. He's got himself out of that Polish sandwich and decided instead that he wants to come out and fight on his own. And I think that's a smart move because he's got real pace. It was down to 2.1 seconds or something like that.
You're absolutely right. He still is the fastest on the track. Michael Schottler, the world champion, making his first pit stop. He's still got another one to make. But I think you're right, Spanners. He knows that Naroda, you know, while he's not going to do anything unfair, he's one of the most sporting people out there. But surely Patrick Naroda in the final is going to be as, well, you know, he's going to be as firm as possible, isn't he?
We were just having fun with Patrick. We know that he wasn't going to do anything to hold up Schottler.
Well, he's not going to do anything bad, but is he going to do things within the rules, you know?
Well, we can say what we want now because it's not going to happen, is it, at the moment? 11, Groten, he's in, and that, I was right, I think, that he's taken both, so Kart isn't an issue now, but will he come out ahead of Michael Gerb? Michael Gerb's gone into the pits to take the first of his stops, so this is critical now. Schottner's had 2 stops. Gerb passes that barrier safely. De Jong is in the pits as well, so he's having to cover off Groten, I think, with the first of his stops, as Balnega comes in for her first stop as well. So this is going to take some unpacking, and I'll tell you what, every pit stop, I think, has been clean, as Gosselin comes in as well to take what I believe is his second pit stop. How did I do?
Spanners, he did great. I mean, they were just one after another and at the same time, so we'll see how it all shapes out when they cross the line. That's the only thing we can go for. We've still got Gerb in the lead. Have we another? No, I was going to say Gerb, we're looking at to make a second stop. Yes, he needs to make another stop.
Yeah, here we go though. So it's Schottner now. I thought he'd taken his 2 stops. Apologies for that. He's taken his second stop now, as is De Jong, the number 14 kart. So that's them done. So now we'll see basically what happens when Michael Gerb takes his next stop. That will be on the road, the position for the lead.
Selina Balnega is third, but I think she's still got to stop. Look at Matthias Groten, he's all over the back of Mats de Jong. Is that Patrick Naroda as well? they're fighting through the snail area, and this of course is for race position absolute, because they've all made their stops. There's Mats de Jong, the Belgian, followed by another Belgian, Matthias Grooten and Patrick Neroda. Patrick Neroda's been pretty racy. They're getting defensive down the back stretch there. Neroda moving to the outside. Nothing going now on Matthias Grooten.
Neroda's really profited to get up to 6th place, and he's got a chance for 4th place here, so he's done fantastic.
Yes, he has. He was one of the early stoppers, wasn't he? 2 stops in the very early stages. So, Spanners, I think we've got another pit visit.
Yeah, I think we've got the race leader in. It is Gerb, Michael Gerb. First pit stop done successfully. Second pit stop done as well. And I don't know, he's in the clear at the moment. I'll let you unpack what that means.
We'll have a look. I think, yes, he is clear. He's comfortably clear at David Kart. There's Schottler across the line. Gerber's done enough.
Wow.
They've both made 2 stops. It's looking good for Gerb. There's only a minute and a half to go. There's Mats de Jong and Matthias Grooten, but neither of them are capable of catching Schottler, and neither are capable of catching Gerb. We're still showing Selina Balnega in 3rd place. She has 1 pit stop to make, but luckily, from her point of view, she's the only one left. Oh, Michael Gerb's made 2 stops, hasn't he?
Yeah, no, he has.
Sorry, our screen there was showing 1. I'm looking at another screen. Selina Balnega is the only one left to stop.
And that stop is coming right now. So Balnega is going to come out, I think, behind that battle that we've been following with de Jong and Grooten, and also going to come out behind Gosselin as well. But it's really close. So Neroda's in with a chance of 4th here. Schottner was 2.1 seconds behind. It was over 3 seconds coming out of the pits. Obviously, he was a bit slower coming out of the pits over the timing screen. It looks to have settled at 2.6 now. So Schottner not able to make anything up in the pits, but there's no one in the way now.
Yeah, I want to draw your attention, Spanners, and those watching on TV at home. Mats de Jong is 3rd place from Matthias Grooten, Patrick Neroda, joined by Regis Gosselin. The real fight is there. It's for 3rd place, the final place on the podium in the British Rental Kart Championship 2020. Mats de Jong in the Snell section. He's the one with the blue and yellow suit. And there's Matthias Grooten, the veteran Grooten, followed by Neroda and followed by Regis Gosselin. Are they being caught as well by Selina Balnega? This could be an epic fight. Now, I don't think it's Balnega, but I will double check. They're getting really defensive. Yes, it is Balnega. This is half the field is in the battle for 3rd place. And it's Mats de Jong fending off Grooten, Neroda, Gosselin, Balnega.
After all of that, look at where they are, all stuck together. I'd missed that was for the podium position as well.
It's going to be the final lap any second, Spanners, any second. We're looking at Mats de Jong. I'll keep everyone updated. There's Sean Bradley going through, but look at this. It's Mats de Jong fending off half of the entry here. Mats de Jong, Grooten, Neroda, Gosselin and Selina Balnega, the ladies world champion. They're crossing the line. It's going to be the last lap now. It's the last lap in the British Rental Kart Championship 2020. It's looking good for Michael Gerb, the world champion. Michael Schottler is 2nd, and then a big gap, but a massive fight over 3rd place. So Michael Gerb, we're going to look at him. There's Michael Gerb. Michael Gerb, we're going to keep one eye out the window while we're looking at Gerb. He's on his last lap. Is he going to be the one to take the title after 6-7 years now away from Ruben Boutens? There's Michael Gerb. He's coming through the final turn. British Rental Kart Championship 2020. It's going to be won by Michael Gerb. It's Gerb. Gerb from Poland wins. There's Michael Schottler, the world champion. There's David Carter lap down. But what about Mats de Jong? Can he hold on? Can Mats de Jong hold on? An almighty battle behind him. It's going to be Mats de Jong, surely. Any what's it going to be? It's de Jong over the line for 3rd place ahead of Matthias Grooten, Patrick Neroda, Regis Gosselin, Selina Balnega, Wojciech Gerb, Sean Briley and David Kart at the tail there. What an incredible result. After so many years, 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18 and 2019, Ruben Boutens managed to find a way to win the British Rental Kart Championship ever since it's been the single track venue here at Formula Fast in Milton Keynes. Finally, he has been deposed, and he's been disposed by the man we've just seen winning there in picture there to the right, Michael Gerb. He's the new British champion, Michael Gerb from Poland. There he gives you the double thumbs up. I think he's beside himself. Spanners, what a final.
What a race. James, you need to get down here. You've got some drivers to talk to. Thank you so much for keeping us entertained in the comms booth all weekend. Now, Bradley Philpott was billing this in the run-up to the event as the toughest, the strongest field in indoor karting anywhere, and he's not been wrong at all. This has been incredibly competitive, to the point that the World Kart champion was pumping his fist, celebrating 2nd place here. A fantastic win from Michael Gerb, who frankly has just looked on the pace fantastically all weekend. And then out of that top 7, all the way down from de Jong, Grooten, Neroda, Gosselin, Balnega, all of them within a kart's length of each other at the end of a full weekend of racing is absolutely fantastic, and there's nothing to be ashamed of for anyone in the final. Even
Spanners,
Sean...
I'm joining in the pit lane here, Spanners. An incredible atmosphere down here. Absolutely stunning. Michael Gerb has won. Michael Gerb, we're going to try and get a word with Gerb. He's being congratulated by everyone, and I'm going to try and push in. He's quite rightly with all the polls. Michael Gerb, unbelievable. You've managed to do it. And here is Ruben Boutens. Ruben Boutens congratulates the new British champion, the outgoing British champion. Congratulations to you. Michael Gerb, can we have a couple of words? Obviously, I understand, I'll keep it easy for you. Michael Gerb, you are the new British champion. Well done. How do you feel?
Perfect. Amazing feeling. Really good race. Really at the highest level in the world. Amazing feeling.
Fantastic. Obviously, great support from all the Polish contingent here. You had to defeat Michael Schuttler. Patrick Neroda spent a lot of time behind you. Did you feel safe with Neroda a lap down behind you, or were you equally worried?
Well, yeah, I was looking at the times. I saw that Michael's pace was really fast. His was 1/10 of the second faster in every lap. But I also saw that I have 4 seconds. I was behind him, so yeah, good.
A wonderful result. This must give you a lot of momentum going towards the World Championship. You're contesting the World Championship later this year.
Well, probably yes, but we also have the team in outdoor karting, so if we will have the free week, why not?
Will I be seeing you in Szczecin in the Polish Championship?
Well, probably yes, but in the same time we have the Polish Championship in outdoor karting, so we will see.
Well, you're the British champion now. Well done, Michael Gerb from Poland. Well done indeed. What a fantastic result. We're going to get as many interviews as possible. We're going to have a word with the world champion, Michael Schuttler, as soon as he's got his helmet off. We're going to try and catch a word with him. Michael Schuttler, his English is a lot better than he thinks. Michael Schuttler, you've come second in the British Championship. You are the world champion, almost made British champion as well. How do you feel?
I'm feeling very proud to be second place of this top competition, and yeah, I would say I'm one of the happiest guys in Milton Keynes, for sure.
Well, you were second in the championship, only 2 seconds behind Michael Gerb. It's a very tough event, but thank you very much for coming. You've really shown well as the world champion. You are back defending a world champion later this year?
I hope so. I fly to Portugal and I try my best.
That's right. Well, thank you very much. In the race itself, did you feel that it was going to be difficult to get Michael Gerb, or were you actually looking to try to pass him maybe in the pit stops?
Yeah, it would be difficult. When I pass Mats, I see on the screen he is 4 seconds far away, and only I think 15 or 14 minutes left, and no chance.
Very hard. Everybody's very good at this level.
Yes.
Excellent job there, Michael Schuttler. Well done indeed. Thank you for coming. We're going to get some more interviews. Let's go and have a look. We're going to jump in with the Belgians here. I'm going to try and push in. We've got Mats de Jong. Mats de Jong, you were third. Well done indeed. So we've spoken with first opponents down. Third place in the British Championship. Fantastic result, Mats. How do you feel?
Great. Certainly concerning I had the 6th card pick because I had a list of 5, but of course they were taken all before me. I think I did the maximum possible. In the beginning I was more or less a little bit of hoping I could attach to Michael, but it was well not possible. And when Schuttler came along, he was way too fast, so focused on trying to get third, and that's what happened in the end.
And to get on the podium at the front of a 5-kart fight in the final, unbelievable.
Yeah, that was the hardest part, the final part. Yeah, I saw that the best thing to do was actually keep on driving and try to squeeze in front at the end, and fortunately that worked.
And Matthias giving a lot of pressure behind.
Yeah, but I knew, I looked sometimes back and I saw when I had a little bit of room to work with, if I didn't, I kept a bit closer, and in the end it was of course full defending, and yeah, I'm happy that I hold it.
It's the final and you had to, didn't you?
Yes, I had to.
Fantastic. Well done, Mats de Jong. Very good. Thank you very much for coming out here to England. Oh, one quick thing. The rest of the year, are you doing the World Championship as well?
Yes, I'm going to Portugal, so and also to the BRKC in Middelburg. I think that's the 2 main big championships I'm going to this year. So
fantastic. We wish you well. Well done indeed, Mats de Jong. Incredible performance there. So much pressure there. 5-kart fight, and Mats de Jong came in front there. Third place. We're going to try and see if we can catch a little word with Matthias Grooten. Going to push in there. He's talking to the world champion at the moment. see if we can have a quick word with Matthias Green. Sorry to butt in there, Matthias. Now, we always consider you the master tactician. You seem to be making a lot of deals going into this event, talking to people, listen, we'll do this, we'll do that. Ended up 4th place, very tough final.
Yeah, it was fun. I didn't kart too much last year, and this is sort of my comeback, and I was just happy to be in the final, and the final was really fun. Maybe didn't choose my kart too well. It was fast, just missing top speed, and had to defend against Michael. At a certain point we both lost, I think, like 2-3 seconds, and I think it cost him maybe the win and me the podium, but that's racing, so yeah.
Well, the interesting thing there was you were battling with Mats de Jong, and you've been racing against Mats de Jong for many, many years. Was he defending quite hard?
Not in the beginning, because that wouldn't have been clever, because other guys would have undercut us. It was like I say, it was maybe 2-3 seconds, and just when I closed up, it was the end of the race, so I needed maybe 5 more laps.
And one thing we were talking on the commentary, Spanners and myself, we were thinking we had you down as the master tactician in this race, but we were thinking that everyone was making very late stops, and there was something like 12 pit stops to be made by everybody within 5 minutes. You came in first, and we were wondering, was everyone leaving it very late in that final?
It surprised me too that there were so many late stops, because I think everyone was doing a late stop because they were expecting some battles and then to gain some positions that way. But in the end, I saw it was too spread out, so did my first stop, and then I could still see what to do after. I saw I was battling Mats in front and Nioda and Regis behind. So then I did my second stop. I think it was the best I could do. Just didn't pass Mats on the second stop that he did. But it's just normal racing. It's tactics. It's all part of the game.
Absolutely, a fantastic result in 4th place. Matthias Green, thank you very much for coming over, and best of luck in the World Championship. Enjoy. Thank you very much. That was Matthias Grooten into 4th place. We're going to see who else we can find as we go around. We'll have a look. Have a look down here. Wojciech Zerb. Wojciech, can we have a? Wojciech Zerb doesn't want to talk to us. We'll go and see who else we can find. Well, we've spoken to everybody in the top 3 and the top 4, actually. Let's have a little chat with Patrick Neroda. Can we have a word, Patrick Neroda? So, Patrick, in that race, when you were following Michael Zerb at the end, we thought, wow, Zerb must be feeling content. He's been chased down by Schottler, but he's got you behind. Would you have been in a position to help Michael Zerb had Schottler closed in? So it was only 2 seconds at the end.
So Michael was very fast. I tried to catch him, and when he made a pit stop, he ran out of me. So
he was in front.
He was really fast. He got good kart, good skills. And he do what he can. We are on the same team, so I'm really happy that he won that.
Excellent. It was a great performance. One thing, Patrick, are you doing the World Championships this year in Portugal?
I really don't know. Maybe. I hope so, really. But I'm stuck with my parents, so.
Okay, well, we'll see how that pans out. But best of luck for the rest of the season. Well done, Patrick Neroda. Always a factor in every race is Patrick Neroda. Really, really strong. We're going to see if we can have a word with David Kart. David, I know we're speaking English with you here. We've seen some amazingly racing performances from you this weekend. Really, really strong competitor. You made the final, first time over here in England. How are you feeling?
Fine.
Excellent.
Fine, excellent, yes.
And the rest of the year for you, you're doing the Polish Championship, the World Championship?
The what?
Are you competing in the World Championship this year?
I don't know.
Slavek.
Jedziesz na polskie mistrzostwa świata?
Tak, znaczy na BRKC im April. Po polsku?
Polish Championship.
Tak, na polskie mistrzostwa świata jadę w kwietniu, tam się widzimy. Też będzie, słyszałem.
And I take from that, Slavek, he will see me in Poland.
BRKC, and you doing BRKC as well?
I'm only talking though. Yeah.
You're gonna see each other, yeah?
I'm not as good as David, so I have to talk, he drives.
Ja pozdrawiam wszystkich kibiców.
Excellent. Well done, David. It's been great having you here. So David Kart there, he's His English is better than my Polish, but he ended in Polish there. So what we're looking for now, we're bringing up the podium, as you can see. We're going to be awarding the trophies, and we'll see if we can talk with anybody else. I'm going to see if I'm going to have a word with Remy Drazga. Remy, can we have a little word? Now, looking forward to the Polish Championship later this year. What a performance by the Poles. 4 of a minute and one of them winning. What are your feelings?
Yes, I'm very happy. Michał win. Last year he was third, and now he win. All the race he was under his control. We saw the lap times of the other opponents, and I'm very happy. And I think in Polish Championship he was always in the final, and now the other guys know that he can win it.
Excellent. And actually, he could well win in Szczecin, couldn't he?
Yes, he was I think second last year, but the first was Ruben. So this year Shooter is also coming, Gruten, all the top guys. So I hope the Polish guys will be more than 4 in the final.
Yeah, well, it's going to be this again, isn't it?
Yes, it's going to be very tough. I think 80% of the European guys that are here are going to come to Poland. But yeah, the event, British Rental Car Championship, is great. I was here first time 5 years ago, and each year it's improving. It's a great event, and all the guys always say good things. And this year the level was the highest possible, the same like the KWC or maybe Polish Championship and the other championships. People like it, people love it. So if you want to come next year to British Championship or Polish.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Remy. It's been great having you here, and I will see you in Poland. Okay. So that probably concludes the interviews we're going to get. People are really, in their own bit now. We'll just see what's going on in terms of the presentation. One moment. So just going to see where we're at. We may well have some photos before the trophy presentation. Spanners, let's have a little chat. Where's our cameraman? Spanners, we've been commentating on this weekend as we have in the past. Well, what can we say?
Well, first of all, I can say you are absolutely tireless. You haven't taken a break at any point. And while I've been resting up and trying to get a pizza, you're around talking to everyone. You've lived and breathed this competition since it started. And you're a fantastic commentator. So on behalf of everyone watching, I want to thank you, James.
Well, thank you, Spanners. I'm reduced to tears and I'm almost speechless. But no, seriously, I appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much, man. A pleasure commentating with you. It's been a heck of a tournament, hasn't it? I mean, you've been great in the pit lane here. While we're in the mutual admiration side, you've been getting some great responses from the drivers in the pits.
Part of the presentation and why it comes across so well is that the drivers are very generous, even the ones with limited English. They want to come, they want to share the story of their race, they want to talk about the tactics, and that brings the whole thing to life. And Bradley Philpott has been billing this as the tightest competition that we've ever put on.
Absolutely.
And he wasn't wrong.
He's right, yeah, absolutely. It's been incredible. It's been like the World Championship, but with a British title. The most incredible thing of all really has been that Ruben Boutins not only has finally been beaten, but he actually didn't even make the final. I don't think really anyone expected that. Okay, at some point he wasn't going to be the winner, fine, but to lose by not making the final was just unexpected. And got to be honest, a bit of a shame, really.
A little bit, yeah. It would have been nice for him to be able to defend that title on track in the final. I get that. But then again, there's a lot of very good drivers that didn't make the semi-finals.
Yeah.
It was that competitive. And going into round 3, 2, 3, 4 points was the difference between about 20 spots.
Yeah.
And that's just the nature of this competition now. Live with it. That's the level that we're
Absolutely.
at.
Yeah. And what a result there. We saw Michael Scherb winning by 2 seconds from Schottler. Schottler, of course, is the reigning world champion, but it's his first time here at Formula Fast. That's a performance, isn't it?
As he went over the line in second place, it was a genuine fist pump.
Yeah.
Like he was delighted to go from his starting position 5th up into that place. So that shows you the quality. When the World Kart champion finishes second and goes, yes, nailed it, that tells you something.
Absolutely. Mats de Jong, of course, a veteran driver, he's come through to third.
How old is he for a veteran driver?
Well, it's about how long he's been doing it. I think he's been doing it for an awful long time, Spanners. Certainly, I know he's been around for way over a decade. I don't know exactly when he started racing, but I'd put him down for about 20 years, 25 years, Mats de Jong. He has been around an awful long time. Same with Matthias Gruten. The amount of brain involved and experience is partly why they were third and fourth.
And a very likeable character as well. And so many likeable characters. It's been brilliant. just seeing the same faces throughout the tournament and getting to know them and talk to them. Of course, you've been around talking to people in the breaks as well, and they've lived and breathed every moment. There hasn't been like any diva drops that we've seen. No argy-bargy in the pit lane this year.
No, not absolutely. There has been in the past. Obviously, what we're waiting for now, those watching on the TV and the live stream, they're just setting up the podium. That's going to be on the start line. The presentation gets made on the start line, and we're going to be moving forward to that. There's probably going to be some photos. Just stick with us, and we will bring it to you as it happens. But the presentation will be coming. It's quite a special one, so do stay with us with that one. Spanners, can I just leave you to say a few words? I just want to focus on a couple of things.
Everything's ready for you.
Oh, we're going now,
Yeah, we're going to go now.
Okay, so we're going to be going to the prize giving.
Just before a special award that I'm going to hand out. Still
Yeah.
And just say why you have 10
Yeah,
for
yeah.
winning.
I'll explain it.
So after you introduce it, I'll grab the mic from you and.
Okay, do you want to start? Can I start? Okay, then everybody, if we can have your attention, please. We're going to be making the presentation now. We have a number of trophies to give out, not too many because that makes them even more special. The first award is a special award. I'm going to hand over to Brad Philpott for that. He knows what it's all about.
So guys, first of all, thank you very much for all attending and driving and working so hard. This is going to be the only part I'm going to take part in this award ceremony before I dive out of the way. But before the main awards get underway, I'd just like to give a special award which I've created for this year, which I've called the Founders Award because I couldn't think of anything better than that, which is a gold BRKC trophy. And I'd like to award that to Formula Fast, and if Phil Stanley could come over here, for all of the ridiculous hard work that these guys have done over the last months. So there you go, Phil. Feel free to please proudly display that at our reception. So yeah, they've been working through the night, trying to make the karts as close as possible, updating the venue, making sure the event runs smoothly, and I'm just super grateful. So thank you very much. And now I'm going to hand back over to James for all the main prizes.
Okay, and well, Phil, have you any words to say about this award?
I don't know, no. Thank you very much, though.
Okay, that's Phil Stanley. He runs the show here at Formula Fast. What a slick event. Perfect karts, perfect situation, and upgrades every year. Now, we're moving on to the Team Award. We've been fighting for the Team Award. And let's have a look. What are the results on that one, Brad?
So it's MG Racing.
MG Racing have won overall. And so the drivers from MG Racing, if you care to come forward, that's the two Scher brothers and Patrick Neroda. So well done indeed, guys. MG Racing take their awards. We'll have some photos. MG Racing to the podium, boys. So MG Racing take the team award, the Polish team. And of course, very little surprise them taking the team award. All three drivers managed to make the final of this event, British Rental Kart Championship 2020. Okay, and the next award is a very special one. It's the Genevieve Reason Award, and a lot of you know about this one. What it is, Genevieve Reason used to be an employee here, actually a personal friend to many, including myself, away from here as well. Genevieve Reason unfortunately lost her life a number of years ago in a road accident in 2015. Very much missed, but very popular person, and we give this award to the person who we think has put in the most spectacular performance. Not always with the best results, but the most spectacular performance, the one that Genevieve would have appreciated and been going on about, to be fair, because she was a pretty talkative sort of person and quite lively. So this year we have to present this award to someone who actually has done very well indeed. Sparkling performances, and Genevieve would be proud that her award this year went to multiple ladies world champion Selena Balnega. Genevieve Reason award there. How do you feel, Selena?
Well, I'm really, really happy. Yeah, 7 in the final I think is really good.
Yeah. we were particularly impressed with, you've turned up first time here at the BRKC, you won your first heat race, you won your second heat race, you won your third heat race, you won your fourth. Unbelievable as far as we were concerned. That trophy was starting to have your name on it at that point. So well done indeed for making the final, and we hope to see you next year.
Yeah, I will probably be back next year, and thanks very much.
You're welcome there, Selena. See you later on in the year as well. So, and Genevieve Reason Award there to Selena Balnega. Now, we're coming up to the Cam Ho Trophy, another award which has got someone's name to it. Cam Ho, of course, was a unbelievably prolific competitor. He was reputed to have thrown trophies away from karting. He had won so many. Unfortunately, Cam Ho actually died in a kart event, not related to an incident, but he was racing when he unfortunately passed away. Now, Cam Ho was in his 60s, but raced competitively against drivers in their teens and 20s. This is going to the over 40s, the Master Award, and the Master Award this year goes to Richard Jute. Come forward, Richard Jute. The Cam Ho Trophy, Richard Jute, well done indeed. How do you feel about that one, Richard?
No, I mean, after a tough weekend, yeah, it's good. I'm happy about that. Cheers, thank you.
Fantastic, thoroughly well deserved. Now, we're coming along to the all-important top three. We're going to start with third place. Each of the top three win an entry into the World Championship in Portugal in the summer, and spectacular trophies here. Third place and an excellent trophy. Let's hear it for... Are you going to bring them up, Matt, Brad? Yeah, let's hear it for Mats de Jong. Mats de Jong, third place. How do you feel, Mats?
Sorry? Great. So, nothing to add, actually.
Excellent. Take your place on the podium, Mats de Jong. Second place, an incredible performance. First time here is the reigning world champion. It's the German, it's Michael Schottler. There's your trophy, Michael. Well done indeed. And take your place on the podium there. But the winner, not only does he win his entry to the World Championships, not only does he win his trophy, he wins £1,000, and it is the Polish driver, Michael Scherb. British Rental Kart Championship winner 2020. Well done, Michael. Well done. And take your place on the podium there. Michael Scherb, the 2020 British Rental Kart Champion. So there they are on the podium. Scherb on the top step, Schottler on the second one, and Mats de Jong on the third spot there. As you can hear, very well received indeed. They're being photographed as we speak. And then comes the obligatory champagne spraying. It's going to be time to move aside because this could get very lively indeed. All the people who know what's going to happen are moving to the back of the pit lane here as Scherb is going to let rip. Everyone's legging it. Here comes Michael Scherb. He's aiming straight for his fellow Poles. He's got Michael Schottler. Schottler's returning fire. Oh, down the back by Schottler. Oh. So Michael Schottler returns fire there. They're still fighting away. We haven't quite got to the level that we got a couple of years ago where Johan Medart managed to slip over trying to get Ruben Boutens. That was the most dramatic podium celebration we had. But what a result there. Michael Scherb, 2020 British Rental Kart Champion. And that is towards the conclusion of events. They're still there taking their helmets and their trophies. And there's going to be a lot of photos. And as they do that, we're going to bring our coverage to a close. It's been a wonderful 2020 BRKC Championship. It's the 10th edition, and we look forward to many more. It just gets better every year. Thank you very much for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed the championship. It's been fantastic, and we look forward to 2021. Thank you, and goodbye from Formula Fast in Milton Keynes.